questions do you have for me, if any, of what you've seen so far?
I'm trying to scroll back up to the part where, I guess none really at the moment.
Okay.
I mean, it seems like they have a lot of knowledge in this, but, like, they're answering all of the questions. And I'm just more so watching to follow what we talked about during our first practicum, how I continue to further the questions and the students' thinking without that yes or no, or without repeating the questions. So.
Well, and notice, like, I mean, granted, they are my kids, but like, they're still your fairly average first graders and a fourth grader, and they don't, you know, like when I don't tell them, "Yay, good job," like they're okay with it. Like they just keep thinking, they keep answering, they keep thinking about the question. But also notice that I'm having to like stop and think before you answer. Which now imagine you had 20 or 25 first graders or second graders, because it's a second grade lesson. You really got to do that. Okay, now I'm going to ask a question. I want you to just stop and think, because otherwise you're going to get kids just blurting things out. And what you need to do is kind of build in that time for all the kids to have a chance to think.
Yeah, so that response time. Yeah, that's really important, because I mean, I see it in the classroom now, but even when you teach and you model, that really does make a difference, giving them that extra time and think.
Yep.
Because it's true, they do just blurt stuff out. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yep. All right. Well, if you think of anything, I'll kind of check in every once in a while, like while they're having work time. But yeah, so next I'll be going on to kind of the second lesson pretty soon. Well, yeah, we're still kind of on the first lesson. I'll be going on to the second lesson pretty soon. Yep. And when I have them go outside, like I'm probably not going to give them very much time to go outside. At least not like what I would do with a real class, because I'm just going to have them think about our own yard.
Yeah.
And so like they're already very familiar with their own yard, right?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I'm going to go back and re-look at the YouTube video later too.
Yep.
But
cool.
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to tune in to see it live.
Awesome. So which one are you trying to make, Link?
I'm doing that big canyon right there.
Top left or top right? Or the big picture?
One.
The big picture.
Okay.
Picture. Which one are you doing, Josh?
I'm doing the river in the big one.
Okay, cool.
I just need
So the river would be considered a body of water. I want you to make a landform. So pick a landform to do. Which one are you doing, Nikki?
I'm doing the ditch.
Okay.
Like this would be where the water is, and these would be like more players over the door. Yeah, it would be easier if we used the big ones.
Can I take a picture of that, man?
I totally don't have enough Play-Doh.
Move this hand. You can put your other hand on there. There you go. All right, I'm gonna give you about 1 more minute. Cassie, 1 more minute. Just get as far as you can, buddy. It's okay if you don't get totally done.
I just decided because I knew we weren't gonna have a ton of time, so I just decided to do like a short one. Gosh, you could do what I'm doing. It's really simple.
All right, so let's talk about this for a second. Hands on your lap, please. Have a seat. So what are some struggles you had in making your model? What was hard about making a model? Mabel?
I had to keep the walls straight for my mountains, but the ditch was fine.
Okay. Lincoln?
What my struggle was keeping the Play-Doh together. It's like not moist and
Okay.
stuff. It's like hard.
The Play-Doh's getting a little old?
Yeah.
All right. Cash, what were some struggles you had?
Well, I really couldn't figure out what to make, and I had trouble, and I'm having trouble forming a wall.
Okay.
A tiny wall.
wall.
So when scientists are making real models, not real models, but when scientists are making models, what might be some struggles they might have? Lincoln.
Well, if they were to use like a 3D printer or something, they'd probably have trouble actually like drawing the thing on the pad or something.
Okay.
Or taking a picture
Okay.
to make it look.
What might be some other struggles that scientists might have when making a model? Go ahead, Lincoln.
Putting the pieces together.
What do
Like
you
they
mean by
can make
putting pieces
pieces.
together?
They'd probably make pieces to make it, but then they'd have to like put the pieces together the correct way.
Okay. So when, like, as you were making your model, sometimes we think about just making the model helps us learn some things. What did you learn about your landform while you were trying to make your model? Or what did you notice about your landform as you were trying to make your model? Think in your head. What is something you noticed about your landform, or something new you thought about while making your model? Catch your Mabel, I want to hear from you guys.
I was technically doing all three pictures combined by making like the ditch that's in each one. I thought about how I was gonna make like such like crazy walls, so I added like rounded tops sort of, because mountains usually go down at some point.
Okay.
So like it would go down, so I made crazy at the top.
All right. Lincoln, what was something you learned while making your model?
It's not as easy as you think.
Okay.
I mean, you think it'd be just super easy. Make a model, but then it's not as easy as you think.
So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna make a model. We're gonna make a model of our yard. And I think we'll maybe focus on maybe just the front yard. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you a chance to go outside and observe the front yard and just kind of notice some things. I know you spend a lot of time in the front yard, but what are some things you might wanna pay attention to, knowing that you're gonna have to come back in and make a model of our yard when you go outside?
Dad, can I quick have a piece of paper? I think I know how I'm gonna do this.
Not yet. We'll get started in a second. So think in your heads. What are some things you're going to want to pay attention to as we go outside if you're going to have to come back in and make a model of that?
Well,
Go ahead.
well, we should like pay attention to the like hills and stuff.
Okay. Like what parts of our yard have hills?
Like
Lincoln.
Our garden.
Okay. Cash?
that side of it.
Oh, okay. What about if you have to make a model of the very front part? By the steps? Mabel?
You could just make like a big like a round you could do this with your Play-Doh and then like make like some upside down U as some rope
Okay.
for the swing, and then like make
Okay. So but the swing would not be part of the land. I want you to make a model of the land of our front yard. So what are some things you want to pay attention to about the land in our front yard?
There's like a
Go ahead, Cash.
wall.
Okay. Lincoln?
The wall, for
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
That's what I just said.
So now when you go out there, you might be able to look at it really carefully, but why might taking a piece of paper with you be a good idea? Mabel?
So you can sketch it.
So you can do what?
Sketch it.
Ah, okay. Cash, go ahead.
So you can draw what you're gonna make.
Okay. So I'm only gonna give you like 3 or 4 minutes to be out there. And so I'll give you a piece of paper, we'll grab a pencil. What questions do you have about your task?
None.
Lincoln?
How are we supposed to draw outside? Wait, without a clipboard or something?
I have a clipboard.
We're probably not gonna get clipboards out. That would be a good idea. So maybe just put it down on the cement or something.
A swing.
I'm confident you can figure it out.
Okay.
But a clipboard would have been a good idea.
I'm gonna write on the swing.
Alright, so grab a pencil if you don't have one. Here's a piece of paper for each of you. Remember, you don't have very much time. Only 2 or 3 minutes. Mabel, here you go. Wait.